Hello guys, welcome again to this exciting evening. This is Boardroom, as usual, the Boardroom Talks. This is where we sit down with bold entrepreneurs and industrial leaders. And also, this is a business and political lens where we unmask the real deals. So today we have Mwalimu, a very good friend of mine. Karibu sana tena Mwalimu.
Thank you.
You were here last time and today again.
I appreciate your welcome.
We also appreciate your presence here. Don't take it for granted.
Thank you very much.
And today, guys, we want to talk about corruption. And we dig deep on corruption.
Yes.
Welcome back again.
Thank you.
So today, I want us to, I want you to teach us on corruption matters.
Corruption.
Yeah. And first, me and my viewers want to know what's corruption.
What is corruption?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, is thank you and your team for inviting me once again to this program of the Boardroom Talks, which is a very interactive and educative, which creates awareness to the masses on various topics affecting the society. And I'm grateful for what and the work that you're doing. My name is Peter Njagwanja. I'm a teacher gentleman. That's my stage name.
Yeah.
Majority of my viewers know me like that. So I'm grateful as we come to this program today to elaborate on what is corruption, which I think to me is a cancer eating our sector of economy.
Yeah.
Especially in sub-Saharan African countries, corruption is a cancer nowadays.
How is it a cancer?
It's a cancer because it is destroying our economy. While other countries are skyrocketing in industrial revolution, ours are going down. They are retrogressing. So it's a kind of a national disaster that's supposed to be taken seriously by the government. And here we shall hold our leaders accountable. Because corruption, to fight corruption, it needs political goodwill. For corruption to thrive like in Kenya, it means it has a blessing of the people in power.
You have said we should hold our leaders accountable.
Yeah.
Does that mean corruption starts with in politics?
It must start with the political leaders. What is corruption? It's the first of all. Mm-hmm. What is corruption? Corruption you meet is one is a misuse or abuse of power, abuse of the office by the people in power for personal gain to the expense of the public. So it is that misuse of office where an individual who is entrusted with the public resources misuses that resource for his personal gain to the expense of the masses. That is one. Two, it's a dishonest or fraudulent conduct by the people in power to amass wealth on their private life, while the masses are suffering, mostly involving bribery. So that is what we call corruption. When the people in power misuses their power or their office to enrich themselves or privately or to the expense of the masses, that is corruption. That's what we call corruption. So there is no way we shall fight or do away with the leaders when it comes to corruption, because it is the people in power, it is the people in public office that are not accountable to what they are doing. And that is what leads to what you have today as corruption.
Okay, we have talked about leaders, and we, in the centuries that have passed, out there, in decades, there have been blame games on corruption.
Yes.
This and this playing victim, and this being victimizing, and others being guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have talked about leaders being guilty. Does that mean the common wananchi, the Wanjiku, they are victims?
Okay. When you look at corruption on a wider lens, we have to know what causes corruption, so that we know who is right and who is wrong, and who is to be held accountable, or what are we talking about corruption? Because it has become so general that people just think corruption is just a handout, or the police extorting money from the public service vehicles. That's corruption. Or if you ask somebody completely what is corruption, how does it affect day-to-day life, they might not even tell. And that problem, lack of awareness, also contributes to the scenarios that we have for corruption today. That's our leaders just walk scot-free,
And
because there's nobody.
can you classify for us where can we categorize corruption?
Okay. Corruption is a social evil, just like any other discrimination. When you talk about gender discriminations, when you talk about tribalism, when you talk about injustices, when you talk about favorism, like nepotism and the like, corruption should also be included in that kind of favorism and discrimination against human rights. Because when you take a bribe so that you can favor somebody, or your tribe, or a particular person simply because he has money, that's a discrimination. You are discriminating the others simply because this person has money to bribe you. So it is a social like any other discrimination, forms of discrimination and favorism in Kenya. It should be classified as that. It should be criminalized.
For better understanding, can you give us maybe a few examples of corruption?
Okay, corruption is wide. One, there is we start with the side of the government. There is embezzlement of funds, of public money. There is extortion. There is money laundering. There is lack of accountability. It is a wide, it's a wide thing. So when the government, when the officers in charge embezzle the money, or they allocate money to their private sector, conflict of interest, it's also corruption. I am the minister for road, and the construction firms are also mine. How do you fight corruption? It means the conflict of interest will contribute to corruption. So that one is also a form of corruption. So embezzlement, conflict of interest, extortion, money laundering, bribery, all those are forms of corruption. Causes. The problem in Kenya is we should know the causes of corruption. What causes corruption? If I may ask, what brings in the kind of corruption that we have? I'll just talk about one. There are 4 reasons, but I should major one. One, we talk about weak governance. Weak governance. What brings weak governance? One, the kind of leaders that we elect today, they are all products of corruption. Because they use the money, they bribe their way in. So that is one reason. So can we streamline? One cause is the elective policy. We don't have clarity on how to elect leaders who have high value for integrity. They are not. So they bribe their way. So these leaders, when they are there, weak governance brings in what we call lack of accountability. Nobody is accountable.
And how do they break their way in?
Okay, during campaigns, there is no regulation on how much you can use for campaigns. So you meet somebody like an MP who earns, let's say, $1 million, because it's 700 salary plus the allowances and the like, it adds up to 1.1 something around there. So this person earning 1.1 million per month, he run for 1 term, that is 5 years. If you multiply 1 million by 12 months by 5, it comes to 60 million.
Yeah, 60 million.
That's an MP. But you hear an MP used 200 million for campaign.
That means
He bribed his way in. He knows there is loopholes in the political arena where he will make sure that he has paid back his money. And that is why most of them immediately they get to the power. You'll never hear of them again.
just for clarity to Kenyans out there, there's this 200, 300, what?
Adults.
Yeah. Are they part of the bribery?
That's bribing. That's bribing. Why should you just come with 200? I think if somebody is serious with empowering people, he should show them how to fish, not giving them fish. Because you give me 200 today, then I vote for you, then I will see you after 5 years when you're coming again to campaign. Have you assisted?
No.
Have you assisted the society? No. And then this money, you make sure that this money that you use to bribe us, you have embezzled, or you have, out of your leadership, the powers you have, you make sure you pay yourself through those corruption deals. Meaning, you will not deliver on health facilities, you will not deliver on education, you will not deliver on infrastructure.
Having talked about, you have mentioned education not being delivered. Let's talk about education. Because for us to get to the other corruption, let's talk about education because it's the major one. It's the root because education is the key. You must go to education since ukiwa mdogo. You grow ukiwa shuleni. These things we learn there. Now, let's talk about education and how does corruption affect education?
Okay, let me say this. Corruption mostly affects all sectors. But education will play a major role. Because if our education system is equipped and the people are equipped and trained on the right. Yeah, when I was young, my dad used to tell me, "Wajinga ndio wali wao."
Which
means if we eliminate the stupidity or lack of knowledge, you will not be able to rule this way. Wajinga ndio wali wao has to be. Wajinga one, illiterate, ignorance people is their food. Ndio wali wao. They are the people who are eaten.
Yeah.
Or they are the wali
Mchele.
So huyu mjinga lazima umweke akae akiwa mjinga. So that umkule for the rest of your life. So make sure you never be enlightened.
Yeah.
So our system, look at all the leaders, the big people in the government and the like. Most of their kids don't go through the current system. You go to the British system and the like. We shall enlighten you on all aspects of life, on whom you are and how you are supposed to speak.
Speaking of that, the education system in Kenya, the national schools, tunaonanga watoto wa politician wa wadosi, the elites, ndio wanasomea huko. Does that mean au ndio uerevu wa kwenda national schools?
Okay, corruption plays major role. Because for one, okay, there is those people I asked one day, and then somebody told me it's known as national double standard. I meet the rich people, they have the good wives, they have the good children, they have the bright children, they have the opportunities. But it applies double standard.
Yeah.
It is not realistic. But simply because we look at one of the national schools in Kenya, like Nairobi schools, Alliance, Manu, their fee is about 100 plus per term. So how many normal mwananchi in Kenya will afford these kids to go there? Very few.
Very few.
So what will happen to that kid from Marsabit who will be admitted in Alliance? Most likely, the chances of learning there are zero. So what does the principal in those schools do? They take these admission slots, they sell to the people with the cash, and they earn a lot. So I'm assured, as a general, or as a senior person in the government, I'll have a slot in Alliance for my son. I'm comfortable for that.
Yeah.
These days, you buy even the grades because of corruption. So we are not worried about my son getting forward. And that is why it was a very good idea for us to change the 844 system to the CBC, where grades will not matter a lot. Why? These grades, one, you cannot rely on them because some of them are false. There is irregularities in the exams. Then there is the power of money when it comes to stopping the admission. So it becomes a problem. So corruption will eat all the sectors, but one, education must be highly affected. For no leader in Kenya want our education system to be put to the right way. Because how watu wakielefuka, they will never be the elefuka. Mwerevu akasema mwerevu mjinga akielefuka, mwerevu wa mashakani. And that is where we meet now. The greatest threat right now to the government on the seat is the Gen Z. Because wameanza kuelefuka, wameanza kuliot. Now the fear is, how do we deal with them? The only way to deal for the government, the only option, because they don't want to admit these people knows a lot, is to kill them. Which is, I think it's not supposed to even to be a Kenyan case. Because when you shoot people just anyhow, just because they are airing their grievances, that is an ICC case. It's not supposed to be held here. So, education system, no one wants to equip it the right way. Two, even the teachers who are there, they're equipped to keep the pupils busy so that they will never know what is happening out there. Governance should be a topic. Constitution, human rights should be a topic from the young stage to the right. What is your right? What is your law in governance? As a people, they must know. From secondaries, university, these are kids that can sit in national forum and contribute to the national debate on how they want their government to be. But who has equipped them? You meet even a university kid cannot contribute on any political topic. They are not aware of anything. They are not. They are kept busy. So that is where the problem is. So low level of illiteracy in Kenya has contributed to the corruption, to the right in Kenya, because people, they don't know their right. They don't know what is corruption. They don't know how they can defend themselves. Somebody, to an extent, almost 80% or 75% of the drivers on the road, akisimamishwa na askari, he thinks his right is the right of the policeman to be given something. So utakuta gari ni mpya, lakini mtu ameshatoa 50, ameshampatia. Because he is not aware of his right. So if people can be trained on their rights, corruption can end very easily. So education can play a major role. Let these teachers be quick. Let the peoples also learn. If it is integrity, ethics and integrity, which is chapter 6 of the Kenyan Constitution, must be made compulsory in the education system. Let the peoples know what is corruption, what is bribing, what is discrimination, what is all the forms of discrimination and favoritism. Let the peoples know. So that by the time they walk out of the classroom, they can be able to highlight all those problems outside there. But now, they go there, they are integrated by the corrupt officers, by the corrupt senior government officials. You meet now, they make it as if it's a part of the society. Whereenda polisi, ukisikia mtu wako ameshikwa, the first thing is to know how much will I carry to the police station. My person goes to the court, how much do I carry to the court. My people, I want my people to be admitted. How much do I carry to the prison? You can imagine, now it becomes a social norm that is acceptable.
Wanaita chai.
Imagine.
Chai.
Hata
chai. Acha tupige chai kidogo hapa Naivasha. Lunch kidogo before we embark.
Welcome to Aqua Lodge, your serene escape nestled in the heart of Naivasha along the Nakuru-Maimahiu Highway. At Aqua Lodge, comfort is more than a promise, it's a lifestyle. Our spacious modern rooms are designed to give you the peace you deserve, whether you're on business, a romantic getaway, or simply seeking rest after a long journey. And when it comes to food, indulge yourself at our signature restaurant. From mouth-watering local favourites to international delicacies, every dish is carefully crafted to excite your taste buds and keep you coming back for more. Here at Aqua Lodge, every stay is an experience, every meal a celebration, and every guest, family. So next time you're in Naivasha, along the Nakuru-Maimahiu Highway, make Aqua Lodge your home away from home. Aqua Lodge. Stay, dine, experience.
Naivasha Aqua Lodge, got sweet. Also, unaweza pata Aqua Lodge ya Naivasha kwa Blooming Stays and other lodgings and B&Bs. Also kuna furnished apartments ndani ya Blooming Stays. Unaingia tu pale kwa website bloomingstays.co.ke. Unapata variety. Now you get to choose unataka kulala wapi ama unataka kukomboa B&B wapi. They got it there. And then a reminder, ndani ya Blooming Stays una get to contact you being the client and the owner of the B&B or the apartment direct. Kumbuka kuna furnished B&Bs and furnished apartments. Welcome back, Mwalimu.
Thank you.
I feel hatuja exhaust on matters on education.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of young people who want to lose faith in the education system due to corruption matters. Like today now, nilikuwa na watch news and there was these people when you apply help and the help wajajua pesa ngapi wanafaa kulipa. You see, not those complications. Say there's money that help inasimamia and wewe mwenyewe unafaa kulipa. Now they have not gotten that information and time is going. Napata watu wana lose faith on the education system because of will I say because of corruption?
Simple as corruption. I told you the other time, most of the failed states or the corrupt states, all the sectors are affected in one way or another. And the leaders in charge of them, they will do anything so long as it benefits them. And now they change the mode of help allocation. That there is classification of your needs. Who is on the ground to check on what your field is correct? Nobody. Which mechanism has been put on the ground to make sure that the information you give are correct? Nothing. So whatever you feel there is up to the person allocating there to decide or determine whom you are.
And who is this person that...
Okay, the government has the board. The board has all the powers now to decide who will get what. Because your information is open. Wewe umejaza, umejashia. Then it is to them to classify you with those three categories also.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet now all the people with connections. Their kids will get the family. All the people who are capable of paying, they all get the help. But what about that kid who has no connection back in the village? Then he is allocated 18. I have a friend who was allocated 18,000. The parents cannot afford anything else. And they are supposed to pay almost 100%.
Yeah, like today I saw another one. Was supposed to pay 400,000 and the help paid, I think, okay, the total the remaining was 350.
So they are paid 50,000.
Na unapata huyu kijana anatoka
in a very needy family. But if you look at the information he filled on those forms, it was left to the masses of the board to determine who is this, because they have no mechanism down here put in place to decide who is the person to get what. Okay, and then so meaning they don't get equal funding as they used to get. Kitambo, the all the students were given equal. So if it is 50% of the school fees, everybody is given that. So actually to fight for the 50 by the end of the semester, most of the parents will be able to do that, doing the bursaries and the others and the like. But today, the government has changed that. So the leaders who are there now, they have even allocated their own ghost kids to this fund. Because the money is not answerable to anybody. So long as I get, and I will never be employed to the government, nobody will ever follow me. So if I'm in the board and I sit in the board, I can even register my dad and approve his name to be funded. Because the only people who will be followed will be come to help are the people who will eventually run the government's jobs.
Don't you think the system they are putting in a separate, inaendelea kuseparate the rich and the poor, because huyu kijana hawezi kuafford hizo 300 hata hawezi raise.
Okay, that's where the norms of education comes in. And I think we should fight the corruption. Because for one, for corruption to thrive, it must have a political goodwill. Because why are these officers, even those who are caught red-handed, misappropriating the government money, embezzling government money? Why are they not held accountable? Why don't they be charged? Why don't they face the rule of law? Why are they walking scot-free?
Speaking of the rule of law, is there a law that governs corruption?
The laws are there. If you look at the Constitution 2010, Chapter 6, leadership and integrity, it outlines how the public officers should act and the repercussions if they don't do that. Then there is also the Anti-Corruption Act, 2003 during Kibaki's and 2011 during Uhuru's time. They are there, they outline everything. But the issue is, who appoints the anti-corruption?
The government.
The head of state. Through what? Through his own mechanism of interfering. Because even the parliamentarians, the majority, if it's the ruling party, the people will be sit there to interview these people. They will go with what the president wants. That is one. Two, who is ruling, who is appointing the judges? Our judiciary independent. Can we say they independent? No. You saw the other day how Chief Justice cried that his security details are being shown. How does a Chief Justice cry for justice? Let's say what about me? What about a common knowledge? So, if these people can be held accountable, that through political goodwill, if the president or the head of state can clearly give a goodwill for corruption to be fought, it will be the head of it. But so long as there is no political goodwill, And the State House or the head of state continues to be the appointing power to almost all the sectors. There is no revision of corruption. Even if he stands here and talks tough. We are used to the president talking tough.
Yeah.
But I think Uhuru used to talk tough to an extent of saying that Kenya is losing 2 billion per day. You can imagine our own president saying we are losing 2 billion per day. That's almost a quarter of the budget.
Yeah.
Look up. So imagine. But he does not tell us how is he going to fight for
the solutions.
What mechanism have you put in place to make sure that from tomorrow the 2 billion will not end up in somebody's pocket? He talks tough, but that is it.
We lose today, tomorrow we lose again.
We stop talking tough and start acting. We need action.
Yeah.
Action speaks louder than words.
So you have told us the reason why this law is not being followed. And do people know there's such a law?
That's why I talked about public awareness is very illiteracy levels in Kenya very low. Education is not well equipped to create awareness to the masses on what is there, what is their power.
We're supposed to create that awareness.
I think the system, the government should establish systems, because even now, even the programs like this ones, because of the internet now, the social media, the power of the social media, I would encourage such people like you that get such forums. Can you have a forum of creating awareness on the powers of the masses, supremacy of the people? Constitution chapter 1 is the supremacy of the people and the power of the Constitution. What is this supremacy of the people?
They should start teaching Constitution in the schools.
It should be, but now, are the teachers equipped?
No.
Is the government ready for a young mind to be taught his mind?
No.
Do you think wako ready kuruhusu the year one? Tulisema wajinga ndio wajua.
They are not ready.
Do you expect that?
No.
Do you expect waseme kama mzoili mjinga aelewe?
No.
Do you think they are ready to wake up as sleeping children? Usimwamushe halala. So our government knows that. They will not allow. So it is up to you and the like-minded people to create forums where we can now bring people and interact with them, create awareness, and let the people know what is their power and what is the role of the people when it comes to government. Yeah.
Okay, let's take on the economic or the economy impact
Or corruption.
on corruption.
Okay, you can imagine all the money that other of the money that is supposed to go to hell ends up in somebody's pocket. So why are people dying? I heard at the beginning of this year and last year, the government complaining that the donors have withdrawn 2 billion, 5 billion for the immunization. Kenyan budget is at 4 trillion. Then they are complaining that somebody has withdrawn some few billion, less than 10 billion, for health funding. I think we don't know our priorities. I think Kenyan economy all the economies in the world can be run by 4 major industries. If it is Kenya, the case of Kenya. Ministries, the ministries that are supposed to run economy of Kenya are just 4.
Which one and which one?
1, education. Because equip people with the right mind and they will do wonders. Education is a powerful. Let them know the technologies that are there. Let them create innovative minds. That is education. 2, health. Because an educated person who is healthy, can do it.
Yeah.
So health, actually it's a human right. You cannot joke with life. That's the ministry that should be funded. Then there is agriculture. Agriculture should go with industries. Actually, this should be one ministry with different departments. Then there should be security.
And don't you think agriculture should be the major one?
No. Because even if you make in agriculture and the people are not educated and they are not there, those ministries they are four. There is education, there is health, there is agriculture, and there is security. You can imagine an educated person, an educated mind, which is healthy and secure. Then imagine the input in the industrial sector that is secure. So there are ministers doing what. Those are just numbers. There should be departments somewhere. And these 4 ministries should not be left in the hands of politicians. These are supposed to be in the hands of technocrats, experts, and educated people. You cannot give a ministry at somebody, a politician, a seasoned politician who did botany in the university, has no clue on medicine, then is in charge of the Ministry of Health.
We have seen our government switching, you see, unapata huyu ni CS wa education, huyu ni wa, let's say, maji. And then wa interchange.
Okay,
unapata like, okay, kuna wa sports, kuna wa education.
Yeah.
Would you anything about sports? And then una switch on.
No, you know the issue in Kenya is we tend to believe that change of monkeys, change of forests in the kingdom of monkeys changes the monkey.
The monkey will never be human.
That because you have transported the monkey from Congo forest to Naivasha to the Ramirez forest, the monkey has changed. Monkey, no matter the forest, number of forests, it will not change. So changing a problem, you are just transferring a problem to another ministry. You are not making any change. So what we are supposed, if you are able to, I think out of 50 million Kenyans, we have so many great minds.
Yeah.
We have a lot. So we cannot rely on one person as if there is no other people. Can we try it? Can we just have a mechanism of choosing these people? How do we end up getting the right person for every department in the government? That's the issue. So can we lay the foundation for that? This is the select panel. This is the way together. These are the qualifications. Then can we employ what we call contract basis kind of term? You are given the work with the contract. Deliver. What do you want? What do you do within this time? If you cannot achieve that one, you are out.
You know, the problem is you find that let's say a CS of education, you tend to after something like ile time kulikuwa kuna shule zinachomwa, ndio tulijua CS wa education ni nani. Kwa kuja COVID ndio tukajua CS wa health ni nani.
Good.
Like lazima kukuwe na a crisis that is happening so that we can know who is in charge.
Especially the current government. Who are the CSs?
I don't know.
They are the political rejectees who supported the government. So they were given the ministerial status to pay themselves. Because look at all the people who are funding the campaign for the current government.
They are now in the government.
They are now the CSs.
So
why are they being given that seat? It's for them to pay themselves what they want.
Kwa hivyo kumaanisha in Kenya nikipigania let's say an MP seat ni fail. Ile pesa nilipoteza bado nitakuwa
there is a way of making sure that you get your money. That is why you are going to put the money here. Tukishachukua serikali tutajua vile mtajilipa.
There is there a way that unaweza hauna pesa like not bankrupt but hauna pesa, you are bribing, you are a normal person and unataka kusimama kuwa MP kuwa let's say politician, you want to be a politician. Is it possible?
Okay, somebody told me that when you do something thrice or fourth time in a row, the fifth time seems to be as if it's the right thing, even if it was wrong thing. So people have been bribed to an extent that anybody coming in the money is supposed to be a leader.
Now, how can we fight that?
There are so many ways. Right now, people are enlightened. There is the social media. There is the interaction of minds. People can see. There is platforms like this one where minds can be brought here and they argue their policies. And you meet your marketing the right ways. Rather than wait for the people who can come here loaded and they choose who has more than the other. Can we have now forums for the breeds? Come here, yes, we have no problem with the money. But come and tell us what is your problem. What is your? What are your policies?
Your manifestos.
What is your manifesto? What do you want to do to the people? That's the right thing.
Mtazamaji, tutarejea baadaye, and let me remind you, kuna kidogo tirol tena. Mtazamaji, tutarejea baadaye. Kwanza tumeze chai tena kwenye Aqualodge, and remember kuna Tausi Furnitures. We are doing this in the courtesy of Tausi Furnitures. Bila Tausi hatungekalia kiti kama hiki. Na Tausi Furnitures unawapata kwa TikTok, wako na social media. Na unaandika tu Tausi Furnitures and you get your sofa, you get your comfortable beds, you get your dining tables. They have variety, office seats, office desks, every kind of furnitures, imports and made in Kenya. They made them themselves. They design great designs. Hizo zinapita hapo utaziona, and namba yao iko hapo in case you want to book to order something. Namba iko hapo in case you want kitu na kupendeza. Thank you. What of the reason Nashinda insist on blogging stays to visit your website? It's because hizi vitu zote zenye nakuambia, be it furnitures, Tausi Furnitures, unapata zile furnitures zinatumika kwa hizo B&Bs and hizo apartments zinatoka kwa Tausi Furnitures. Ziko very, ingia pale ujionee, ingia hapo blogging stays ujionee. Kama wewe ni mtu wa furnitures, uangalia furnitures zenye zimetumika kwa hizo B&Bs, and also unaweza book B&B ukitaka ukitembea Naivasha. And pia kama unataka kuingiza apartment yako ama your B&B kwenye website, kuna email inacheza hapo chini. Tumia hiyo email, na pia namba ya simu iko hapo. Unaweza tumia namba ama email, it's your choice. Yenye utaona ni rahisi kufikia wenye website ama kufikia blogging stays kiurahisi. We'll embark on our topic on corruption. Mwalimu,
Yes.
Let's talk about the effects of corruption still on economy. Let's talk about the job opportunities. How does corruption affect job opportunities in our country?
Okay, I'll be very fast and brief on this. It's a wide topic, but we cannot exhaust it on one program.
Yeah.
We need another time. So I'll be brief. When it comes to the economy, corruption is a matter, because the people in power rapes the economy. They take it, the pride of the economy is taken. When you talk about corruption, the economy is driven by the infrastructure and the development budget. When there is corruption, it means all the money allocated for development, the roads, the health facilities, the dams, the education schemes, the hospitals, all those automatically, there is no program, there is no development that will be taken part. Minimum, all the job opportunities that are brought by the construction industry, they come to a standstill. When you talk about the industry, industrialization, the agricultural sector, there is nothing happening. You saw what happens during Moi's time. All the agricultural factories became retarded. They all collapsed. One in because of the corruption. So meaning there is no growth of industries, there is no capital development, there is no infrastructure going on, there is no construction going on. Where are the working masses? Where are the job opportunities? These people will be behind. That's why the agencies are outside there. And they will riot. And you know automatically, somebody saying, and I don't know, it's a devil's work. Either this person will go to drugs, this person becomes a criminal, goes to the crime, or automatically now you saw what is a time bomb. It's just something to trigger them, and they will riot, and the bomb will explode. So the job opportunities are directly affected by corruption, because when people are enriching themselves, the masses are crying out.
So that explains pia mbona in most prisons kuna watu wenye maskini. Ni ngumu upate tajiri kwa prison.
Okay, that's a different view, whereby one in prison there is no justice. Most of the people meet they're innocent. They are not guilty of what they are charged. But because they had no money to collect their way out, they are in prison. All people with money in Kenya, they have a way of breaking their way out. Even if they are jailed, you meet it's a way of judicial justifying itself, mtu wako ndani. And then our leadership are very aware that our memories are very short-lived. Kenyans will be wafanyia kitu within a very short time we forget. So there will be live today, tomorrow. After 3 days, nobody remembers what was happening, and everybody is going back to their life.
I can agree on that, because we saw the other day the Gen Zs were rioting. They were saying this government must withdraw, and then within a short period of time, they are too temple.
Not even. Thank you for that. Look at even on Sabasaba. They rioted and they said, wait for Nandanande. Mm-hmm. By Nandanande, nobody remembered even there was any
blindfolded.
You just bring something to make sure that you overshadow whatever they are saying. And that is the end of it. So Kenyans are like that. So judiciary, our leaders are aware of that. So a mistake is done, a poor man is arrested. You saw even the case of Kware murderers. If everybody knew this man is innocent, but he is taken, put in prison, then the system plays a bit of it, then he gets lost out of the prison, and the case is still ends. The Shakahora massacre is because of corruption.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be, the leadership cannot be held accountable. They don't want to hold somebody accountable for any repercussion, because they might hold somebody. Then somebody triggers. Because Mackenzie alisema kitawaramba. So if you force this person, might expose who is behind it.
Yeah.
They are not ready for that. So what do? They play my games. Immediately you play with the emotional intelligence of people, then they forget whatever you do. That is the end of this case. Today nobody talks about Shekara, then another thing comes out. By the time you realize what is happening, Mackenzie will be a free man somewhere.
Security games.
Yeah. So intellectual minds games are today they are there. So jobs opportunity in Kenya, that is direct. 2, crime rate will be very high, and you might not be able to control it in times to come. Okay? When it comes to the foreign investors, there is so many rules governing the establishment of a foreign investor in Kenya. To an extent, nobody feels safe. There is a lot of taxation, cumbersome procedures, licensing is so complex that you come to Kenya and want to invest. By the time you invest, you have used almost half of that money in policies in laying the ground. So when people go to Rwanda, which is the easiest country in terms of operating a business for foreign investors, Tanzania, Uganda, and the like. So Kenyans, the international investors, our companies, right now they are folding their companies and relocating to other countries. You can imagine the impact that they will have in the economy. Why do we put all those cumbersome procedures, licensing, and the like? Is because we want to keep money. The China Square,
Yeah.
they will come here, they invest. Immediately we see they are not allowing us to be part of them. We bring in issues of so many things, so licensing, so that eventually a politician comes in and tells you, make me a director, make me a partner, then I will safeguard you. So if the other one cannot do that, you just tell the investor when he repeatedly do, I will safeguard you. So these kickbacks this bribery, this kind of corruption is what is bringing all these problems. But if Kenya can lay the foundation for a good working environment for the business people are only even international, even in Kenya themselves, there is unfair competition of money. Well, some companies are given an upper hand than the others. So they overshadow the others simply because they have connections. So this corruption, this kind of corruption where you penetrate the market, you penetrate the licensing or the environment for the creating of the environment for business is a problem for the international investors. So today, nobody is ready to invest here.
That means that now the rich lazima tafaidika hapo. What about the common man?
The rich, the gap between the poor and Kenya, right in Kenya right now, the poor and the rich, it's almost like heaven and earth.
Because
if you have money in Kenya, you have money. If you don't have, you don't have.
Because sometimes it pains me. I experienced it myself. Nimeenda China Square wakati umemalizika, they were hyping it. Tulienda na rafiki yangu na pikipiki. And then we felt the gap because even the security guard was like, hiyo pikipiki weka kwa petrol station, huku ni kama uko na gari ama uingie kwa like it's our country.
You know, when people don't know their rights because of the problem, you can be a thing that you are wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't know your right, you are wrong no matter what you are doing. And that is why Kitambo, you could see a policeman, you just run.
Yeah.
Because you are not aware of what is your right. And the government has never done anything to make sure people are aware of their rights. So, you are in your country. Where are you not supposed to enter? There is only restricted areas, like State House, the Amaris, and the like. And that one I'm saying, these restricted areas are in the construction, or what we call the critical infrastructure. So those ones are known, but not in a business, not in the market. You cannot tell me entering a market is a restricted area for some people.
For me, I felt that is racism.
That kind of discrimination, that is what I told you, is very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous. Up to now, we are suffering. You meet now, foreigners in Kenya have more rights than the Kenyans themselves. I visited Egypt. And the foreigners in some road, a foreigner must have a visa or a passport in hand. Payment to that you are taking. In Kenya, nobody is concerned who is a foreigner and who is a Kenyan.
As long as you look different, you must be.
Especially if you are white
treated,
in Kenya, you
yeah,
are treated like a peer.
Yeah.
No matter whether you are criminal, you are drug traffickers, or so long as you are white. But a Kenyan is guilty. A black is guilty, even in his own way. China Square, there was a lot of discrimination, but eventually the government, the man had a lot of good in that. But eventually the politician is penetrated, and that was the end of the China Square. Because immediately you bring the partners from Kenya, they tell you, no, not sell to these people at a lower price. These are the prices in Kenya.
So we can say the corruption in the governance in our country is leading to high cost of living.
Yeah, because China Square, you are there. What was the cost of some of the items? It was almost half price from Kamukonji or the Komba.
Yeah.
Today, they are the same.
Some are even expensive.
They are more expensive.
Yeah.
Why? Immediately the corruption, he was forced to bribe to pay for the licenses and what. He cannot no longer sell at that price no matter what.
Yeah.
So the cost of living goes up. Which now Kenya is one of the most expensive countries to live in. You go to other countries, you meet cost of living is very low. In Kenya, I just said with 100,000 transactions, I can survive there comfortably,
Yeah.
and I can afford it. Okay?
Yeah.
But in Kenya, why? And this is our neighbor here, and it's a poor country. Because corruption has hiked the living standards. The government want to take money from it. All the big oil industries, oil companies must pay the government, must pay some kickbacks in order to the government. Direct corruption. So unaambiwa wewe ukiingiza mafuta yako ongeza hivi ujilipe. Wewe bora hii upeleke State House. Okay, all the Wahindis in Kenya, there is the money they take to the State House. So what will happen eventually? Even if they are operating their business, they have imported at a very low cost. They have to hike their prices because there is somewhere that their money has been taken. They cannot go out. That's the problem. That's how it is.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mwalimu wenu. Hatuwezi exhaust na wewe. And our people loves you. We love you and we appreciate ukikuja tena na tena. Feel at home.
Thank you.
This is your home. Na tunakukaribisha tena na tena na tena until people get the lesson on corruption.
We must make an impact.
Yeah. And to our people there, be aware of corruption. Tunakuja to make it, to make an awareness on corruption and how to fight corruption. This is Boardroom Talks. This is more than conversation. Remember that. This is the next one. Na leo tumelani kitu kubwa sana. Everything that is going on in Kenya is based on corruption, which inatokana na bad governance in our country. So kitu ya kwanza, you people there who want to fight the bad government, nini, first of all, let's fight corruption. Fight the roots. Na tutaachieve chenye tunataka and our country great. I would say again, because sifeel kama kuna siku ishaikuwa great.
Every day is a great day.
But in our country, yeah.
No. Yeah, there's a time that we were there during the first region in 1970s to 79.
But you're going to play
within a very short time. And that is why we are given the union because Kenya was changed.
Now we should do that again. Our country should be great again. Thank you very much, our viewers. Comment on the topics that unataka to discuss, topics that you feel you have this question and you want us to discuss on it. Comment it, share, and subscribe. Subscription is free. Subscribe, Bona. I'm your host, Zichetora.